everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris Army, and today we're playing some Starters Order 6, but a new save. A new save because new versions. I finally updated Starters Order 6 all the way that I could go currently to 1.079. On top of that, there's a latest update out on the forums to the StartIt mod, the flat American schedule that I'm using. So I decided to use that new one. I also asked the mod creator if he minded updating a schedule that he'd put together, which was his sales schedule, which means that there are races where 2-year-olds who have only raced once in their career can enter those races, and the winner of those races are up for sale. So it's a good way to try and get some good young horses, and it really does help kickstart a breeding program. So that's kind of what I'm looking for there. That's kind of why I wanted that schedule if I could, and MJ very nicely put it up, so thank you to him. Go over, show some love in the forum. You can find all the links in the description to all the threads on the forum where you can download the mod, and also a link to where you can go get the game, of course. It is available on Steam. I don't play it on Steam. I do have the copy on Steam, but because I started playing it long before it went across and my save games weren't easy to transfer across just because of different versions, and I didn't want to update. I could have played this on there, but I'm playing modded, so I prefer not to mess around with Steam for modded stuff. But you can find it there, and you know, every other link will be in the description, so you can get exactly what I've got, bar 1 or 2 custom graphics that I've made myself, which are terrible and I don't inflict on anyone. There's a trophy that I've taken the black background off. That's easy enough to do in Photoshop if you know how. There's some bars on the horses that I'll point out, and on the betting screen for the horses for each race, the bit on the right, I just added a top and bottom from a different mod. I basically cut and paste bits and pasted it on. It's not quite on center. It's good enough for me, but there we go. So to start off, I'm going to tell a little bit about why I've done this save and my thinking behind it. Now, you know I love the Triple Crown, you know I love the Kentucky Derby. We're in North America to win those. So our new stable is called Smiling Jack's Rest. Points if anybody knows who Smiling Jack is. I've got one, I think there's 3 or 4 different Smiling Jacks out there, kind of different laws, but there's one I'm thinking of in particular. So points if you correctly can guess that. We're right next to Churchill Downs, and you know, we're not that far from Keeneland, which is where some of the 2-year-old sales are. So it's a low area in terms of expenses. It's not expensive to base you know, a stable out in this country, over in Kentucky. So yeah, we've got Churchill Downs where the Kentucky Derby is run, and we've got the Keeneland sales right in our backyard. It's a hotbed in the bluegrass country for our stable, and that's where we're going. You can see, if you click this, every other stable in the game comes up. We can get rid of the race course. You can see some of these some of these trainers. Some have first names, some don't. I really was, yeah, I didn't edit the Canadian ones, so they've still got full names. I don't like full names, they take up too much space, etc. I have deleted all the jockey pictures, the owner pictures, trainer pictures, the tipster pictures, all that kind of stuff. I don't need it in my game. I kind of slimmed it down a bit, so you know, you will get a bit more in the way of graphics in the pack if you download it. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing. So you can see, you know, there's quite a lot of race courses there. You can't really read them all, but the big one over here is Belmont Park. That's where the third bit of the third leg of the Triple Crown races, the Belmont Stakes. That happens over there towards New York. And then we've got the Preakness, which I'm not really sure where that is. We're looking for yeah, I think that's over towards this area as well, but I'm not exactly sure where. and it's kind of all on top of each other. So that'll be a Pimlico, I believe might be around this area, but I'm not sure where. Philadelphia. My geography isn't the best. There it is. I knew it was over in that area somewhere, but that's where the second leg of the Triple Crown races are. So we go from the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs over to Pimlico for the Preakness Stakes, and then we're up here to where are we? Belmont Park. There we go, for the Belmont Stakes. So I'm in the hotbed here where we start, and then as we progress through the 3-year-old season for the Triple Crown races, we just head east, base ourselves around here somewhere in New York, and then we hit up those 2 tracks. That's kind of the thought behind it. Not really how it's going to work out, I guess, but that's the thought behind it. Now, something different from the rest of my games, we have legends in the game, and they will be respawning when they retire. So I'm hoping to see a few legends, and if they do start as 2-year-olds, then there is the chance that they go in one of those 2-year-old sales, and we could even get a legend and add it to our breeding program. And you know, that's going to be quite interesting to see if that happens. I'm not sure. Of course, you've got to hire a transporter, so we'll get rid of that news item. I haven't bought anything yet, I don't believe. No, we haven't bought anything, so we'll come back to that in a second. Let's go look at our legends. We've got Black Caviar over there in Australia. Nice. So we're just gonna follow that horse. Then we got Deja here. I guess that star is for legends, I'm not sure. Nice 2-year-old stallion there over 5 furlongs. And then Secretary, which I believe is supposed to be Secretariat. I'm not too sure on that. But yeah, so there is that. So, oh, that's a 2-year-old stallion. So maybe not. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, Secretariat was a stallion, but I didn't think it started as a 2-year-old. But okay, we have those there, I guess, ready in play. So we're following those horses. We'll know where they're racing, when they're racing. Hopefully they do appear in the... Oops. If you look here in the diary, let me think. When are they? I know there's some. There'll be sales races. Aha, here we go. So 9th of March at Gulfstream is the Farsi Tipton, Florida sale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, those are all selling races. Those are sales races. So, you know, the prize money isn't great, but it's for 2-year-olds that have only run 1 race, I believe. So we'll get some good horses in there. Not great horses, I don't think, but some good horses. And I know in September, I believe it was... here we go. September 15th, we got Keeneland with sales. That's a bit more prize money. And I'm not sure, was there anything on the 18th? No, that was an old version, so they're now on the 15th. So I think there's another 1 or 2 sales in there. We should get some decent horses. We'll see how that pans out. I haven't yet picked a jockey, and I haven't yet sort of hired an apprentice, so I'm going to go in here for StartIt as my apprentice. Why not? And then jockeys, I'm thinking I need something. 8-8 is going to be for an unraced 2-year-old filly or that kind of like. So just to make sure I can race on that would be, I think that's the lowest rate. Yeah, that's the lowest I'm actually going to race at. So we're going to go with Rosario. Here's one of my favorites to go for, and then we click here to auto book for each horse when we book a race. That's that tidied up. Now we can start looking here. Just going to put everything on higher help as well. Buy a horse trailer so we can actually race. 300,000 is not much, but swimming pool to increase stamina, training stalls to increase their starting ability. That's my usual start. I don't know whether I want to do that though, because for our horses, our 2-year-old here doesn't have potential, so we're selling. We've got Serpa here, who doesn't look too great, no finish application. We are selling. Talented Prince, not really too much there as a 3-year-old. Again, we are selling. No confidence as a 4-year-old, not too much else. We're selling. I'm hoping like 2 million a piece for the 2-year-olds, 1 million for the 3-year-old, 500,000 for the 4-year-old, for example. If it breaks down that way, then, you know, what is that? That's like 5.5 million in the bank. We buy everything, we're okay. So we're going to hold off, see how that goes. I did keep Perfect Officer though. As a 5-year-old stallion, he doesn't look amazing, but there's a chance. If we can fill his potential bar up to 90 or above, with that 100% finish application, decent there. You can see that's about 70% extra speed and about, what is that, like 37, 38 cruising burst. That's not bad. He's got a bit of distance and surface adaptability. He's around a mile, which is a good distance to win some money at. And yeah, he's laid back. That's a good trait. Low confidence, don't like it. Enthusiasm's low, don't like it. Apart from that, he's fine. He's not going to be a great horse, I don't feel. I think that, you know, he's going to be an okay racer, maybe win a couple of grade ones, but he's not going to be a dominant horse from these bars, I wouldn't have thought. Could be wrong. We will see. We will test him. But what my thinking really was, at the end of this first year, if we can buy, if we've got 5 million in the bank, we can buy 1 or maybe 2 of the race winners in some of those sales races. You know, they're usually about 500,000 to 2.5 million each. So we might be able to get 1, maybe 2 of those. And they might be good 2-year-olds to carry on for the future. Which means we can buy the breeding barn and put Perfect Officer in as our first stallion in that breeding barn. That's kind of the plan. So we do need to find Perfect Officer a race. Let's quickly look. He's about a mile. That's 20%. There's about, you know, 7 furlongs or a mile. 10% is 5 to 6 furlongs. Anywhere here near the sort of 55 mark is going to be around a mile 1. A mile 2, mile 3 is 65. And if it's above that in the stamina bar, then, you know, the horse runs forever, almost. So that's kind of how I look at things. So I'm looking about 7 furlongs. That's the breeding indicated distance. That kind of matches up here. 7 furlongs to a mile. We're laid back. We're looking decent. We're going to find a nice race. It's not going to be for a while. It is going to be 7 furlongs just to test. Do I do a 5-year-old maiden? I mean, hey, there ain't anything else. There ain't anything else. So January 17th, we're going to put Perfect Officer in this maiden with all these horses. And yeah, Rosario is automatically booked on the on for the ride, which is why we did what we did in that apprentice tab. And that's about it, I think. I think that's about it. I don't think we need to do too much else. So yeah, not a great horse, but could be the start of our breeding barn with those 2-year-olds that we might be able to get. So let's go around them. On to Thursday, the first day of sales in this game. And we're looking there. And there's not too much. I mean, there's a 2-year-old female, which could be an interesting one. A couple of fillies there. You never know. Really, it's just making sure these horses actually sell. So they are going to sell. Talented Prince. You know, as a 3-year-old, I was hoping for about 1 million. We're going to get 870 for him. That's okay. A little under 870, but basically 870,000. Tap It Light. I was hoping to get 500,000 here. I think we're not going to get even 300 grand. So that's a little bit of a shame. If you don't go to these auctions, people do say you get more money, but I'm not too sure on that. I am not too sure on that. We wanted 2 million from our two-year-olds. We're about, oh, I don't know, like 300, 400 grand under what I wanted from the other two horses. So, you know, this one here going for 2.25. That's decent. Serpa has sold. If I get the same money for Banner Headline, we're in the right kind of position. We're not going to for some reason. Banner Headline just is not going to sell for very much. So we might as well end that early. Instead of the 5.5 million that I was kind of looking for, we're a tad under 4. But it's still enough, isn't it? I still only need one horse trailer, so I'm not going to upgrade those yet. That's going to be a waste. So yeah, breeding facilities, let's get that out of the way. Swimming pool, all-weather gallops and training stalls to improve it. We are going to, let me think, what do we need to do? Trainers, office, gardener, staff, why not? Gallop rails, let's make it look a bit better. Bang, it's a lot of facilities up in the early game. 2.5 million still in the bank. I want to keep about a million in there. Actually, no, I want to keep more than that. I want to keep about this amount. I was going to do more. I was going to increase the stable capacity to full, but I don't need to do that. But okay, we can keep 6 horses out, and we can keep the breeding barn filling up over time. We don't have horses, so we don't need the extra feed barn. We've only got 1 horse. We don't need the car parks. We haven't got the big things here. Quarantine, we've only got 1 horse. That's a non-issue right now. And sending them out to grass, I mean, yeah, we really don't need to do that either. So I think that's us bought up as much as we're going to be until we get a couple more horses at the least. We've got 10 days until Perfect Officer makes his debut here. And in fact, that's going to be longer. It's going to be longer because we've picked up an injury by diagnosis. This is supposed to be fixed. Instead of going in an infinite loop as some of my past has, we've actually got success, and it's under 4 weeks. Well, we might as well jump out of that race then and see where we end up at Perfect Officer. So we're going to skip through the first couple of weekly auctions because I don't believe there's anything too much in here. Now let's go to this one. Let's go to this one. There's never really too much at the beginning of the game for me. So under 2 weeks. Let's go round to one more auction then. And see. No group winners. Basically, nobody that's won any races. And there's some 2-year-olds for big money. But if I'm going to risk on a 2-year-old, it's going to be... it's going to be in one of those sales races that I actually know can produce better horses. So, no point doing it now. Because there's a very, very big chance they won't turn out to be anything. So, there we go. It looks like the injury is gone. We're nowhere near racing yet though. So, back to an auction. First glance just didn't seem worth my while. Let's go around to a Monday, and there we go. So it's back to 7 furlongs. Let's go book another race. Now there are condition races, there are feature races, there's money to be won. There's a grade 3 there, which I think we might be okay with. I mean, it's a grade 2. See, 71 potential maybe? Full finish application? Laid back, I mean, we could have a shot. We could, do we roll the dice? What's the fields like? I mean, there's 2 less horses, it's a better field. But if we're going to get beaten in that grade 2 by a 95 rated horse, we're probably going to get beaten in this grade 3 with, the 84 and all the 83s. I mean, there's not that much difference in terms of quality, in my opinion, anyway. So I might be looking at the Acadia there, the grade 2, just to see if we can't get this horse a little better off. What's the over here? Oof. Look at that. A 102 rated. Nope. And some 90s there in that grade 3. No, that grade 2 actually seems like the one for me. And if we do win there, we can also tie up this year at the end of, mid-March, at the end of this booking schedule. The Frankie Kilroe Mile. Yeah, if we can win that grade 2, then that grade 1 is going to be open for us as well. So, is that a mile though? Yeah, I should have clicked 7 furlongs. I should have clicked 7 furlongs. Do I test at a mile? Or do I test at 7 furlongs? I test at 7 furlongs. We're going into this instead, this grade 2. Not too much difference in terms of the quality of the field. A little bit of a weaker field, I think. Nobody's actually won a graded race before, so we're all equal on that. We're the only one that hasn't run yet. They were disqualified, and everybody else has a top 3 finish at least, apart from Rocky Road. So everyone's the same weight. Ratings are very similar. That's not going to matter. There's an 83 and 84s, low outliers. A couple other decent horses, and then up to a 94 and a 96 as the high outliers. So we're going in for this. We should be quite decent, I think, at that race. So I just need to keep an eye on those sales though, don't I? I think the first one is in March or April. So I'm just going to keep scrolling down here, trying to find something. So yeah, 9th of March. I can't go past the 9th of March just yet. So what I'm actually going to do is book something around that time. We're not racing in it, so that's fine, but we can skip to the day before racing, which puts us in the right kind of time frame. And then I can show you what that actual sales race is all about. So I think this puts us about 3 days before the sale. So we'll have to skip ahead a little bit. But that puts us now, as you see, on the 5th of March. We'll remove our declaration for the 6th. And when we look in the diary here, it is on the 9th. So there's the 6th, 7th, 8th, and the 9th. And now you don't want to skip because you won't get an auction. So every time you want to visit an auction, every Thursday, or when you've got a sales race like this, then you've got to go to the race course and then just skip to the end of the racing. But before we do that, you can see here we actually have the first of our sales race. So this is Gulfstream Park. This is where they're racing for the Classic Tipton Florida sale number 1. This is a 5 furlong race, so this is about a sprinter. 2-year-olds on dirt. It's an open race, and of course only horses which have run once can race in it. They've all got good ratings. They're all decent horses. Wake at Noon is carrying 7 less pounds because of the apprentice jockey being allowed to carry less, and it looks like the weight of the jockeys here has pushed Repent and Win.com up by 6 pounds. So they're running overweight, which means that's less chance of them winning. If they did win despite that handicap, I'd believe they were a better horse. Wake at Noon has a better chance at winning because they're carrying less weight than the rest of the field. Everyone's supposed to be on 8 stone 8. But, you know, Dominguez and Bejarano look to be 9 stone heavy. 14 pounds in a stone, so 8 plus that 6 is the 14, which pushes you up to 9 stone. Which means Wake at Noon's carrying 8.1 stone. Bit of an advantage. So if Wake at Noon sort of wins, then we're not too fussed. If Win.com or Repent wins, especially Repent with that high rating, I'm starting to think that's a nice horse. And that's how I pick from these selling races who I want to go after. And because you can't afford them all, I've got 2 million. That might only get me one of these horses. And maybe I don't want 5 furlongs. There are further ones on the way. Tipsters say Mighty Repent, Morgan Dollar and Win.com, and not an issue there, so quite interesting. Nobody went for Wake at Noon. Everyone else got one tipster each. Now we can watch this race. I'm just going to skip the race and look at the result and see if I need to make any sort of notes. Win.com, I came in second, half a length behind. So, you know, I'm going to make a note of that horse. I'm going to make a note of Win.com because despite that, that's pretty decent. So, okay. That's that. We can go to that race. You know, we see we're already into race number 2. Again, we've got £7 extra, £9 extra, £3 extra. Jimmy's Gold is down there. So, we're just going to skip the race. And Hallery Lee carrying £7. Look at that. And Shopping for Love as well, carrying a little bit more. So, both of those deserve a little note on them. So, okay. Again, there's some more carrying weight. This is unusual. I normally don't see this. Exporter. See, wasn't carrying any extra weight, and that was 2.5 lengths, so that's not close enough. We've got another race here. Winner carried £3 extra. Second place carried £7 less. And was a length and a half. Cat Doggone is a pretty good horse, maybe. That may be a good horse. What did it do here? Carrying extra weight, 1 by 3.5 in the maiden. You know what? That seems to be the number 1 at the moment for me, would be Cat Dog. So I'll remember that name as well. Only one here carrying extra weight comes in second by a short head. There we go. So if I quickly go and make a note of Cat Dog On and Casino Prince, Chevy. No, Chevy wasn't carrying any extra. So I do play in windowed mode, so I can tab in and out and basically sort of just keep little notepads here where I can make my notes. And this is race 6. I believe this is the last one of the day. So here we're looking at lots of people carrying weight. Maybe not so much of an indicator. Maybe if Art Fan won it or Cash Run, maybe then. So, wow. Okay. So 5 furlongs, one from 7 furlongs by a distance, and yeah. Might just be this one isn't good, or maybe just because it was sweating a bit before the race. I'm kind of going to ignore that one. I don't believe that that is anything to really look at. And here's your winners. You've got Morgan Dollar. You can see that it's a 6 furlong horse. It's not on our list, but now you'll be able to buy one. Hallery Lee did make it onto our list, but it's only a 5 furlong horse. Not really what I'm looking for. A good filly could be worth its weight of gold in the breeding barn, but I'm looking for distance as well. The Triple Crown races are a mile 2, a mile 1 and a mile 4. So I'm looking to breed around the mile 2, mile 3 area. Probably the mile 2 because not too many sort of focus on the Belmont itself. That's kind of what I'm looking at, mile 2. So to breed up with that, to get to a mile is an extra 3 furlongs, 8 furlongs to a mile. So that would be 3 there, so I'd have to go to a mile 5 just to get to a mile. To get the extra 2 would be up to a mile 7. I don't see too many horses running at a mile 7. That's nearly 2 miles. That's 1 furlong short. So if I bred Hallery Lee to a 2 miler, I might be able to get a Triple Crown ready horse. But that's about it. So not really what we're looking for. Exporter, again, did not make our list. Small build, runs over a mile when it's fully developed. Okay. Doc Holiday did run quite decently, I've got to admit that. Didn't win its maiden, which is a little bit of an interesting one. So I'm not sure there. And Did I Do the Same didn't make our list. So Casino Prince, of course, didn't make our list. Did make our list. So did Shopping for Love. Didn't win their races. The only one here which has won both races impressed me and could be available at a decent price because a lower rating than the rest, maybe, is the young filly Cat Dog Gone. So again, it's only a 5 furlong. It's only a 5 furlong. If she's got good distance adaptability, I could run at 6 to 7 furlongs, maybe even a mile if we're pushing it, which means she could win stuff. The breeding indicator might not be in the right place, but maybe she's a little bit more, I don't know. For the purposes of this though, we're actually going to try and buy her just so we can see what she ends out like. And you can see here now, these bids coming in. So Morgan Dollar's going to go for 850. That's good. Yeah, that's 770 for Hallery Lee. That's a horse that we were kind of interested in. 688. So these aren't the top horses. We're going to put a couple of low bids in here just to make sure everyone else is bidding and getting their money out. And now I'm going to start actually raising. And there we go, under $1 million for Cat Dog On. I'm hoping that works out in our favour. It's no different to buying a horse in a regular auction, like an unraced 2-year-old that could be, you know, 2 million or 1 million, so on, so forth. Wow, Doc Holiday went cheap. 200 grand. And that was going to go for 650. So those are kind of the prices we're looking at. We're going to see now what Cat Dog On is actually like. We bid and paid. How much did we actually pay here? 976600. 976600. I like the horse. Won the maiden handily despite being a little bit overweight. Won the race despite being overweight, and a £10 difference to second place, who was a little warmed up, I'll admit that, but also 12 points rating higher. Should not probably have won, and to win by a length and a half. Please, Cat Dog On. Let's see here. Definitely a 5 furlong, 6 furlong horse right now. We'll see if the stamina bar actually improves. Decent speed, acceleration, start, we're okay there. Oh, give me finishing application. Don't give me an empty bar, and don't give me low potential. Please. Bang. That hurts. That really hurts. Oh, as a 2-year-old, we're going to top out at 60% potential, and that's really not what you're looking for. In these here, I'm looking between 70 and 80 potential. I'm looking for a really good horse you can build off. Saying that, good going surface adaptability, will run in any condition, don't have to worry. Great finish application, great extra speed, great consistency. Not great cruising burst, only 20%, but that might get better in year 3 and 4, as might the potential. We could see this go up to about 80 to 90 potential, and, you know, it's worth persevering with. It's probably worth running. So Cat Dog On will be joining the stable and will be being raced. So we're looking here at 5 furlong. Was that the 2? Yeah. She's run a 5 furlong twice. So that's what we're going to do. I think we're actually going to throw her into this grade 2. There's only 3 other runners. They're not great. So you know what? Cat Dog On could sneak herself a nice grade 2. And if we don't like her, that can actually raise her price a bit. So we're not selling in this auction. We've still got 1.4 million to go, but that's basically the idea behind the sales schedule and the opportunity it gets you every season to maybe buy 1 or 2 2-year-olds who you think have run fairly well, and those are horses that their owners probably wouldn't normally sell. So we're gonna go find out now. We're not gonna watch these 2 races because time is getting on. I'm going to skip the races. So Perfect Officer, we are at Santa Anita, so we can just click there. You can see the 7 furlong San Carlos grade 2. We are 40 to 1 outsiders. Okay, Victory Sign is a big favorite for this one, so you can see there. I'm actually going to put A little money on the show, not a lot. Let's see, what's that? 56. Okay, 74. One more, yeah. That'll do. That'll do. So, that's a decent amount of money there. We are actually lengthening our odds despite me betting. You can see this doesn't quite match up. The black and the green. That's one I made myself. And this here, because it's a feature race, you get the trophy. Normally it'd be a black square around it. I went and changed that in Photoshop. Those are the only two graphics I'll have that you won't. And there'll be other stuff you'll have that I don't have because I removed. But as I say, links in the description to the entire mods section so you can go grab what you would like. Ah, skip race, perfect officer. If I had to pick a winner here, I mean, if I had to pick a winner, I'd probably go with low rate conductor here. High rating, not sweating badly like the 94, 95, 96 are, and has actually won the last two races. Now, Lewis is a special, I think, is also quite good. 2-2's high rating as well. They've won their races. You know, it's a competitive field. Perfect Officer has to really step up, and we'll just see what he can do. But can we get off to a great start? Oh, we can't. Luis comes in third. So we lost 112,000 there. Laureate Conductor dwelt at the start and then couldn't get into the race. We do finish fifth, so that's $6,000. We've just spent like nearly 12 betting. So it's a loss on the day, but it looks like we were competitive here. Short heads. You know, we were in the mix here. Fourth and sixth were basically over the line exactly the same time. We were just ahead behind third place, which would have been nice. Half a length back on second place. And yeah. Sorry, barely over half a length over the winner, sorry. Yeah, that's fine. We're beginning to pick up towards the end. So it's a mile. We weren't even at the right distance. Grade 2 isn't out of our sort of out of our wheelhouse there. That's pretty good. I'm enjoying seeing that. We misbooked the race, but this is a good grade 2, maybe grade 1 winning horse if we can find the right thing. So we're going to see. We are going to see. And then we're going to jump all the way to the 30th just to round this video out. A little bit of a long one. Going to come in about 40 minutes long, but we're just going to go and see what Catagon can get done. Our new filly. None of these seem to have silks, which is kind of interesting. Okay, we are the favourite. I like to see that. We should be the favourite. Although plenty of light. Okay, not getting much love. Very calm. There's that blue icon, which means they might have some laid back sort of traits. Not in this case, but okay. So yeah, let's put some bets on. This early game money's good. Oh God dang. Yeah, no, see, the other race was like 8,000 sorry, not 8, yeah. It was like really small amounts every single time. This is extra money a time. Instead of 8,800, it's 98,000 for the first bet. I was expecting to throw like 150 grand on it, maybe. No, we've dumped like a lot of money on this. Oh my God, that's like 1.7 million, maybe. Cat dog on, please. Skipper, she's got to win though, please. And she does. Oh, look at that. We make 500,000 on the race. We got away with that one. Pay attention to what you're doing. That's kind of what you what you need to take from that. 7.4 furlongs. Oh my gosh. No, it's a grade 2 win. And yeah, that was kind of, yeah. So she is a 5 furlong horse. Trip was ideal. we're going to have to test her out at grade 1. So this save is actually off to a good start. We've got ourselves a grade 2 2-year-old in her first race for us. We bought her at one of the sales races for about $1 million. How much did she just win? Yeah, not too much money. Not too much money, but we just bet $500,000. Well, we got $500,000 profit back on her almost, so really, she's paid for herself. A half of herself, anyway. And I like what I see. So, good pickup at the auction. That's what we want to see with this schedule. Perfect officer we want to see get better here. Maybe race over a mile. Get into the grade 1 territory. But yeah, that's going to do it for our first video. I hope that you now understand a little bit more about the schedule and why this video is going online and why there's a new save and why I decided to update. You know, links in the description for anything. As always, have your say in the comment section below and on Twitter at ChrisArmy. You can follow me there to find out a lot of stuff about the saves. You can ask me lots of questions there. I check that fairly often, as do I do the comments. So, thanks for watching. Come back next time. I hope you're excited to see where this save game will actually take us. I'm still going to finish up at least the seasons. I believe maybe the season on my 2 current saves we got uploaded. I'll export then to the transfer list those horses at the end of that season, and then we'll look at maybe importing them into a new flat. And maybe this jump schedule will import a couple of those horses in. So we'll just see where we are and what we want to do towards the end of those seasons. I'll make a more firm decision since we just started new seasons on both of them. Spoiler alert. But the videos going up this past week would have ended the actual seasons. Despite me saying otherwise in the video, we actually didn't have any more races to run in that one. So they've both ended. They're both on new seasons. We'll run them through till the end of that year and then maybe update fully onto this patch, because I've got 2 different versions of Starters Order 6 right now. I've got a 1.062, which is StartIt mod 2.32, which is the YouTube save one. And that's the one that the flat save, which is unmodded, but that's the one that's on as well. So if we can pull these over now to the 1.079 patch and StartIt 2.34 with this sales schedule that MJ, you know, thankfully did manage to provide us, I'll be happy. The seasons continue and we get some more races in. Until then though guys, thanks for watching. Click like, click subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you next time, and y'all take care of yourselves.